Hello, I'm Cameron Martis, reporting on a week of weather observations from November 14th to November 18th at the Geophysical Institute of the University of Alaska Fairbanks. My station is located in a forested area on a hill slightly higher than the surrounding land, with the Tanana Valley immediately to the south. It was quite cold this week, as apparently a cold air mass settled in over the area. At the beginning of the week, the daytime high was slightly above 0 degrees Fahrenheit, but steadily declined to nearly -30 by the beginning of the week, and then increased slightly to just above -20. Minimum temperatures started out around -20, but flattened to -40 or lower by the middle of the week. This is because my thermometer can only read temperatures down to -40. The air temperature at the time of observation, taken in early afternoon each day, was about halfway between the maximum and minimums and followed the trend of the maximums, it decreasing greatly for the first half of the week, but then increased faster than the maximum, reaching the same point as the maximum temperature on the last day. National Weather Service temperature data follows the observation time temperature quite well, with increases every day to near the maximum temperature and decreases during the night to near the minimum temperature, indicating a diurnal cycle. However, the fluctuations are not quite as large as the station data shows. Pressure increased steadily from 990 to 1020 millibars for the first 4 days, and then decreased to 1010 millibars on the last day. This pressure is higher than normal and indicates a high pressure system moving into the area, bringing the very cold air. National Weather Service pressure data shows the same trend as the station data, but is consistently about 20 millibars higher. This is because the National Weather Service data is adjusted to sea level pressure, and Fairbanks, being several hundred feet above sea level, has a slightly lower pressure. Relative humidity stays very constant, but the data is lost when the temperature becomes very cold, because at very cold temperatures, both the dew point temperature is set to 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and the relative humidity is set to 100% in the National Weather Service observations. The air at this temperature can hold very little moisture, so for my particular week, these observations do not hold very much meaning. Looking at the TV weather for Monday, this is the today mapped, although it is incorrectly marked Monday's forecast. We see cloud cover over the Fairbanks area, with a low pressure system to the south, along with some precipitation associated with the low pressure system. However, there is a high pressure system, a strong system, over in Chakotah that begins to move over into Alaska as the week progresses. At the end of the week, we see this high pressure system covering most of Alaska and causing clear skies and, of course, the very cold temperatures and high barometric pressures over the area. The surface weather maps provide a more detailed look at the weather patterns over the course of the week. The week of observation started out, as the surface map shows, with a weak low pressure system over interior Alaska. But notice the large high pressure systems to the north in the Arctic Ocean and over Russia. These high pressure systems began to move southeast throughout the week, with one heading directly into interior Alaska. By the end of the week, a large high-pressure system had parked itself over interior Alaska, causing the very cold conditions and the high pressure measured. As the week ended, the high-pressure system seemed to move out towards the northeast as a low-pressure system from the Aleutians moved in toward mainland Alaska. In my observations, the winds were calm throughout the entire week, coming from the west usually and occasionally from the south. The sky was mostly cloudy with altostratus on the first day, but by the next day it was clear and remained so for the rest of the observation period, as is expected for high-pressure systems with very low temperatures. However, ice fog formed in the valley over the city of Fairbanks.